Welcome to the AL.com film room. I'm Matt Scalisi here with John Parker Wilson, our Alabama football analyst, and we're here to talk about Alabama's big 25-20 win over Mississippi State. A huge win for the Crimson Tide. John Parker puts Alabama up to number 1 in the latest college football playoff rankings. Just talk about the pressure that both of these teams must have been feeling going into this game, and then what did Alabama show you in terms of how they handled that?
Yeah, it was really nice to see the polls come out and Alabama be at number 1. I don't think anybody expected that. But I think after the showing against Mississippi State, we kind of proved ourselves. Mississippi State had a high-powered offense coming in, and our defense showed the ability to stop Dak Prescott and to really, silence their offense. I think the defense did a tremendous job. And also Blake Sims, I think he really stepped up, and we've continued to see him grow and mature as the season going on. It's been really nice to see him make plays, especially when they took away Amari Cooper, our best receiver. He was able to find other guys and other ways to move the ball and score touchdowns.
Well, Alabama has kind of a tune-up game this week. They're basically going to spend the next couple of weeks, I guess, getting ready for the big showdown with Auburn. What are the things that a team focuses on in a week like this?
Getting healthy. I think late in the season right now, you got a lot of guys banged up in the training room. This is about getting healthy. Coach Saban's going to talk all week about how this is the next game on the schedule. I know the players are buying into it, but it's going to be less at practice, more in the film room, more mental, getting ready for this team because of the grind of the season, and then what's going to come down with Auburn, with the SEC championship game, and then with the playoffs. Hopefully, it's getting healthy and getting ready for this last half of the season.
We're going to do some film study ourselves now and take a look at how Alabama was able to win this game against Mississippi State. All right, first play we're going to look at here. Early play in this game kind of seemed to break things open for Alabama. This safety deep down in the north end zone here. Setting
the tone early with the safety and what kind of game was going to lead for the defense. Let's take a little further look at the play and why it didn't work. We know we had the speed option right here from Dak, and what really makes the play is Geno Smith. He's going to come in on a blitz. He's originally lined up to cover this slot guy, and when the ball snapped, he's going to blitz and blow this offensive lineman up, and really he's what makes the play. So when he comes in, the offensive lineman gets pushed back, and this diverts the running back around, so he's got to run a big loop around, which messes up the entire timing of the play. Trey DePriest is allowed to come over the top and get the safety and really set the ball game for Alabama. You can see here the players are going crazy in the end zone. Everybody's in the end zone celebrating, and this is huge for defense, for the mentality of the defense going on. A safety is like the biggest thing you can get being a defensive guy. It's scoring points on defense, it's pushing them back, and really just got them going, and they sustained it the whole game.
A cornerback getting off a block from a left tackle is pretty impressive, right?
Yeah, he did a good job of timing up the snap and really getting in the backfield. I don't think the offensive lineman was ready for it because he did such a good job of hearing Dak Prescott's snap count and getting back. And we can see the lead blocker that's right there is supposed to go on the edge, and he can't get over it, so it causes the running back to go even further over. And Trey does a good job of just getting in there and making the sack.
All right, one of the things that I think a lot of defenses are trying to game plan around now for Alabama, how do we stop Amari Cooper? Mississippi State was able to somewhat limit Cooper in this game, and this is kind of a good example. I wonder what we can learn from this.
Yeah, so Dan Mullen earlier in the week said we're going to play like we always play, just man up and play Amari one-on-one. Well, he lied, and they didn't do that. We see that early on in the game right here in the first quarter, and this is a safety and this is a corner. So we've got two guys initially on Amari, and when a defense has this alignment to start off a snap, there's one of two things. You're either going to get double coverage, which we see here, or we're going to have a corner blitz. Mississippi State doesn't do a lot of corner blitzes, so Blake immediately knows that this is probably a double coverage. And we can see that as Blake takes a snap, he's immediately looking to the left side of the field. He doesn't even look over up top. So this is just a way that they're defenses are evolving and taking away Amari. We've got to immediately go to the other side, and guys have to get open and make plays because it's this one-on-one coverage with these guys. If two's on Amari, we're going to have better mismatches on the outside. We don't take advantage of it here, come short of the third down. So something that Alabama is going to have to get better on as we face Auburn in the Iron Bowl.
One thing we know that Alabama's probably going to be spending a lot of time preparing for in the next 2 weeks, that read option. That's obviously been such a huge part of what Gus Malzahn does at Auburn. It's been a problem for Alabama in the past. This was obviously going to be a good opportunity for them to show how comfortable they are defending it against Mississippi State.
Yeah, I think something that we've probably been working on during the offseason, during training camp, and then the whole season, where you're spending just a few plays during practice. But I think it's definitely showing up here on tape. Mississippi State runs it. We know Auburn's going to run it. And it's really the hot thing in college football right now. But we see Nick Perry do a good job of getting down here and making the play. Dak's going to read the defensive end and the entire defense at once. He decides to give the ball right here rather than pulling it because this defensive end back here is covering him up. So when he does that, our safety is going to come screaming down to make the play. And this is just our guys doing a good job of seeing where the ball is going. There's a lot of misdirection. There's a lot of uncertainty where the ball is at. This shows us that we are getting more comfortable, more familiar with these spread offenses, the handoffs, come down and make a play for tackle for loss right here. I think it shows that where we were last year, everybody's had some concern over this spread speed option. I think Alabama's doing a much better job of covering it.
All right, Lane Kiffin starting to feel a little more comfortable dialing some stuff up here a little bit later in the game. We see an interesting deep pass to another sort of larger receiver, which is something Lane Kiffin's been fond of a little bit.
He's definitely been liking it. We're seeing more and more out of the Coach Kiffin right here, just drawing up new plays that we really haven't seen before. This is a great play design. We've got two guys over here going to cover Amari on this deep comeback route. So he's going to take up the corner and the safety right here. We're also going to have DeAndrew run this crossing route, which we see a lot. You know, this is going to be a down the field, take the shot play. But we don't see a lot of it is the fullback faking right here and then covering the middle of the field. So with the hard play action fake by Blake right here, it really draws the linebackers hard up. So the guy that's supposed to have Fowler right here is actually biting on the play action. He's able to slip behind with Amari drawing two people up top. It's just a great way of getting another guy on the ball when Amari Cooper's getting double covered.
All right, we've been talking about Mississippi State double covering Amari Cooper all day long. Right here, we're about to see an example of a time where they didn't do that.
Right, so this is what happens when you don't double Amari, and you've got to put more guys in the box to stop the run on 1st and goal. It's pretty simple throw and catch right here. We see Amari one-on-one, and Blake immediately recognizes and take advantage of it. So we saw what happened earlier when Amari doesn't get double coverage. He really doesn't even get looked at. Here, it's one-on-one. Blake throws a nice ball, a quick ball, so he can just catch up and snag it out. But so defense, you either have the option to try to stop the run or to try to recover Amari. Right here, they went with stopping the run, and we made them pay for it.
All right, another thing we saw glimpses of in this game, another young receiving option cropping up for Alabama, our Darrius Stewart, the redshirt freshman. You know, he's been on the field a few times this year, probably got his most action so far in this game.
Yeah, it was great to see another guy stepping up. We had DeAndrew banged up a little bit. Amari's getting double coverage like we've seen. And Coach Kiffin's going to throw him the ball. Lines up in the backfield right here, but it's nice to see him catch the ball, get upfield, and see his speed and quickness. Toughness not to run out of bounds, but you can tell this guy's got some serious playmaking ability with his quickness and ability to get upfield. Reads his blocks well, and I think we've got a bright future with this kid right here. So this play right now, it's getting late in the third quarter. Mississippi State has not had a lot going on offense right here. Something I think we'll see early from Auburn is some trickeration, some trying to get things going. We'll see a reverse right here, faking the speed sweep, which we know Auburn's going to do. Mississippi State does it well. But it's the defense being on their cues. We're able to read this, to see what's going on in the backfield, and to dissect the play and make the play. And I think that's the hardest thing with these misdirections in the backfield. It's finding out where the ball is at. We've got a lot of guys crossing paths, a lot of guys going different ways. So it's good to see able to read this reverse and stop it. Okay, so a big play that we saw from Mississippi State's offense right here was not the misdirection, but a classic power play by the quarterback. We're pulling guards, we've got lead blockers, and Dak Prescott does a good job of just getting downhill. I think this was a change of pace from seeing the spread stuff. This is just get behind your blockers, get downhill using his big body. I think the difference we'll see with Auburn is Nick Marshall's going to be a little quicker. So we see the quarterback power from them, but it's going to be his quickness rather than Dak Prescott's size and strength.
All right, for the second week in a row, we see Blake Sims come up really big on a late game drive, making plays with his feet, with his arm. Let's take a look at some of these big plays on this kind of crucial drive in this game.
Crucial drive because Mississippi State just scored, make it a 6-point ball game. So we need to go down and score points to make it a 2-score game. And I think Blake does a great job on this play of converting third downs to keeping the drive going. This first play we're going to see right here is Blake, a designed pass play on 3rd and 5 right here, going through his reads, stepping up, not forcing the ball, and finding a check down. So instead of trying to throw it downfield when it's not there, we can see him going through his reads and getting the ball to TJ Yeldon and picking up the first down to keep the drive going. On this next play, we're going to see Blake go through his reads once again on 3rd and 8, even tougher to pick up with this 8-yard and pulling it down and running. Something that we haven't seen in the past from Alabama quarterbacks. Something that's plagued us on defense is these running quarterbacks. But Blake's ability to run the ball and pick up the first down. Same thing we see here on this drive. Once again, 3rd down pickup. If you can convert these 3rd and longs, it drives the defense crazy. Keep these drives going. Ended up going down. TJ running in for a score, icing the game and putting it out of reach.
John Parker, going down the final stretch of the season here, there's still some question marks, I guess some folks would have about Alabama's running game. They're not putting up the same kind of numbers on the ground maybe that they have in previous years. In your mind right now, is that a concern about this team?
Not a whole lot. I think this offense is doing a great job of being balanced. I think we're running it when we need to. We're throwing it when we're supposed to based on the safeties. I think what the concern is, we're not seeing these huge 80-yard runs. We're not putting up a ton of points. I think if we could score earlier in the game and not have to work about these fourth quarter comebacks and scoring late, it'd be a lot easier on everybody. But I just see us doing, playing within the offense. We're not trying to do too much. We're not forcing the ball. We don't have any turnovers. I think we're doing a great job of protecting the ball. The explosive plays helps. We saw the long pass to Amari and those big chunk plays that we call them. They help move the ball, and it's a lot easier than sustaining these 12 or 13 play drives. So it'd be nice to see some more explosive plays out of the offense, and I think we have any room to improve. That would be it.
All right. Well, we'll see how the team looks as they head into the Iron Bowl next week. Join us again on the Film Room a week from now. We'll be previewing the big game for you.